Before we get into today's video, I just want to quickly mention that I have a full-on merch shop coming very soon to the website neonblue.ru. Just pop your email in if you want to be the first to get notified when our first drop is available. It's going to be awesome and I am insanely excited. Alrighty, video time.
Hello, and welcome to this toy review. Today, I would like to introduce you to my latest obsession, the Digimon Vital Bracelet. If you haven't been keeping tabs on Digimon recently, it has probably been years since you've heard anyone talk about it. Digimon is actually going through a huge resurgence at the moment, with a new anime, a new card game, which I'm also obsessed with, new games coming out, and now the massively anticipated Vital Bracelet. It's not all smooth sailing though, so I'm going to talk about all the good and all the bad, so you can decide if this is something for you. On the 7th of December 2020, Bandai dropped the first episode of Digimon Project 2021, a series of live-action shorts to help promote the newly announced Vital Bracelet. It appeared to be some sort of Digimon virtual pet that also tracked your steps and your heart rate, so as you worked out and got stronger, so did your Digimon. Digimon is usually marketed just towards kids and teens, but this one was actually being marketed towards adults as well. I remember watching this and just completely lighting up, like, hello, is this really a V-Pet mixed with a Fitbit? Like, I've always wanted something like this. Is this true? Can I pre-order everything, please? If you're not overly familiar with Digimon, let me give you some context with a brief rundown on their history. Otherwise, feel free to skip this bit. There are timestamps on the progress bar. Digimon first appeared in 1997 as a little virtual pet toy. Tamagotchis were insanely popular at this point in time, so Bandai created Digimon as another virtual pet that could be marketed towards kids who wanted something a bit more cool and edgy than a Tamagotchi. They functioned almost identically to Tamagotchis, like, you gotta make sure you feed them, you gotta clean up their poop, they evolve into other creatures as they get older, if you neglect them they die, but now you can make them fight to the death. It was so popular that it sprung its whole own entire franchise, with an anime, games, MMOs, toys, and even more versions of the V-Pets. Nowadays, the original V-Pets from the 90s are a highly sought after collector's item, and you could sell them for hundreds of dollars, which really kinda sucks if you just genuinely want to play with one. But then, for Digimon's 20th anniversary, Bandai created a special re-release of the original V-Pets with some minor improvements. They were great. I absolutely loved getting to relive my Digimon days. But I realized I'm an adult now. I have really busy days. I can't always have an unpausable Digimon beeping at me every hour to feed it. I couldn't help but wish that there was just some kind of easy mode and maybe have it housed in something a bit more convenient than a keychain. So then comes the Vital Bracelet, releasing in Japan on the 13th of March just this year. My one arrived on the 13th of April, and let me just say, it was not the easiest thing to get. Long story short, I pre-ordered it from a third-party website. The bracelet released, it wasn't shipping, I contacted them, got ignored for weeks, so I thought I got scammed, and I did a PayPal dispute, and that got their attention real fast, and it arrived within the week. I'll go more into where to get one at the end of the video. On the physical side, it is pretty odd. The band is only 16 centimeters long, so it may not fit you if you don't have small wrists. However, Bandai is planning on releasing a 21 centimeter replacement band. When worn, the device itself sticks out a fair bit compared to other watches. Like, you do get used to it, but I couldn't help but find myself feeling like Ben 10 at times. Don't fret too much though, because thanks to some amazing people in the Digimon community like Vincent Veak, we should soon have some pretty solid modding options available. Additionally, you can unscrew the device from its bands, and it apparently fits into this kind of Samsung Gear Fit 2 band. You do have to cut some holes for the buttons, and I've heard some people say it's not the most snug fit ever, but I do have one on the way, so I'll pin a comment about how that went once it arrives. One of the biggest complaints about the Vital Bracelet that I frankly agree with is about the black plastic. It scratches way too easy. Like, I've been super duper careful with mine, and even I've still got a couple of scuffs on it. Third parties are starting to make fitted screen protectors for them, so I would highly recommend picking up one of those. Or just do what I did and grab any old screen protector cut out a little vital bracelet sized piece and stick them on. And considering that you have to be tapping the bracelet on things to find battles, a screen protector is pretty mandatory. Now, let's get to the actual functionality side. Unlike the original V-Pets, each line of Digimon is unlocked with its respective Digimon Identified Memory Card, or DIM card for short. The standard bracelet comes with Pulsemon, but the rest are sold separately. Once you use a DIM card on a bracelet, that DIM card is forever permanently locked to that device specifically. Which is kind of a bummer, because what if you're a parent and you got a bracelet for each of your 2 kids? Well, you gotta buy them each their own DIM cards too. Inserting the card will spawn a brand new Digi-Egg, which shortly hatches into a tiny baby. You'll need to raise them to rookie stage to unlock all the main functions of the bracelet, and that takes about 4 hours. From here, the evolutions are no longer linear. How you raise their stats determines what they digivolve into. So generally, the higher they are, the better the evolution, and if you leave them alone and don't do much, the bracelet might just call you out and have the Digimon evolve into a literal sloth. The stats are vital points, trophies, total battles, and win ratio. Vital points are your Digimon's lifeblood. You gain them by wearing the bracelet while your Digimon is awake. Otherwise, you will lose vital points. And if your Digimon goes a full 24 hours without receiving any, doesn't count when it's asleep or in storage, then it dies. That's one of the very few ways to kill your Digimon, but luckily you can just insert the DIM card again and spawn a brand new egg. You'll see your Digimon with this little angry grey cloud above its head if it's not generating any vital points. They really don't like not being worn. However, this can be really annoying if you actually are wearing the bracelet. It will just randomly, occasionally not sense that you're wearing it. You gotta jiggle it around a bit, maybe change arms, or you can go to the heart rate screen and press both buttons to resync it. But that doesn't always work. The next stat is trophies, and this is where the fun is at. You get them from completing missions. The normal mission is a daily task that usually involves stuff like hitting a certain amount of steps, generating a certain amount of vital points, winning so many battles, and will net you 1 trophy. The hard missions actually involve doing workouts. Squats, crunches, punches, and a dash. They're worth 1 trophy each, but if you do a really good job and keep up a good rhythm, it'll say you did a great job and give you 2 trophies. The steps counter in the bracelet is quite sensitive, you can literally just flail your arm around to get steps, but when it comes to these hard missions, it actually seems to look for a particular motion to award that double trophy. It is honestly easier to just do the exercises than to try and cheat it. I've been really enjoying getting to do my little workouts with my Digimon buddy every morning, but on the other hand, I am kind of disappointed with how little there is. You only get those 4 normal missions per day, and if you do them all at once, it's barely 5 minutes worth. Considering how hard they've been marketing the fitness aspect of this bracelet, I really thought there would be more to the workout side. Then you've got special missions, which are worth 3 trophies each, but the only way to get them is from the app, which I'll be talking about later. And finally, you've got the adventure missions. With each stage, you'll be given a target amount of steps, and upon hitting it, a boss Digimon appears. There's 15 stages in total, and some of the strongest Digimon evolutions will require you to beat all of them. The final 2 stats, total battles and win ratio, are pretty self-explanatory. To find wild battles, you have to tap the screen of your bracelet onto any NFC reader. I once fought a Digimon on a parking ticket machine. It was pretty cool. The idea is that Digimon are in everything electrical, so you gotta find them and beat them. The battles are entirely automatic, quite similar to the original V-Pets. You just gotta sit back and cheer your Digimon on. Very strangely, you can only find Digimon that are available to your DIM card's evolution line, so usually only about 15 different Digimon. You'd think fighting awesome Digimon that aren't available to your DIM card would help sell the other ones, but I don't know, is it a memory issue? I have no idea. It also makes this scene in the live action short make no sense. Betamon isn't a part of Pulsemon's evolution line. You will never be able to find a Betamon with your Pulsemon. This mechanic is especially noticeable on the smaller DIM cards like Black Raw, which only have 1 evolution line, bringing down the total wild Digimon variety to an abysmal 4 Digimon. Either way, you'll want to make sure you have a reliable way to trigger these battles, such as a phone with NFC. Online battles are not yet a thing, but they will be very soon. They'll be coming to the app later, so until then, you can battle people in person with your included VS DIM. Now, let's talk about that app. The bracelet does work perfectly fine without the app, but you'll only be able to have 2 Digimon, and you'll miss out on a lot of features like special missions. Using your phone's NFC capabilities, all you gotta do is tap it on the bracelet and boom, your Digimon is now in the app. You do this to do things like storing them, giving them items, or assigning special missions. Special missions involve things like get 6,000 steps in 60 minutes, win 10 battles in 60 minutes, and other timed difficult things. If you manage to complete it, your Digimon gets 3 trophies, and you also get experience towards your Tamer level. Yes, in the app you have your very own Tamer profile, all complete with a level and the statistics from your overall Vital Bracelet adventures. I'm pretty sure once we get online battles, you'll be able to do those to add to your stats as well. And at this point, online battles will be coming mid-May, so I am super excited! At the time of making this video, the app is only available on iOS and Android in Japan. So to download it, you'll need to VPN yourself to Japan, make a Japanese account, log on to the App Store/Play Store, and download it. Now don't stress if you can't read Japanese, it's not too difficult to figure the app out, and I've linked you some guides in the description. You can also import images into Google Translate. So if there's anything you need to translate specifically, just screenshot, upload to Google Translate, you're good. Alright, you've probably been wondering why I haven't mentioned how much it is to buy a Vital Bracelet. And that's because it's a wee bit complicated. The standard version sells in Japan for 7,260 yen, which is about $66 US. And then the 2 DIM packs sell for 1,760 yen, which is about $16 US, which is pretty reasonable. But they've been sold out on most sites, and on other places like eBay, they've been inflated pretty bad. I really hope they release them outside of Japan at some point, but until then, your options are be super speedy on restocks, go to Japan, or bite the bullet and go for one of the inflated prices. Unfortunately, eBay is the only site that I can verify to get them from. Like, I'm not sure which third-party sites to trust anymore. So if you're buying from other websites, please do your research so you don't get almost scammed like I did. If you really love Digimon and you know you're gonna love the Vital Bracelet no matter what, it can be worth paying a bit more. If you are still on the fence, maybe wait until you can find one at retail price or hopefully an international release. It is a really neat device, but it is certainly not for everyone. So, let's summarize the pros and cons. I'm just gonna scooch to the side a bit. Yeah, there we go. Starting with the pros. It's a low maintenance digital pet. It encourages movement and daily workouts. The device itself is mostly just numbers, symbols, and English. Like, you absolutely do not need to know Japanese to use it. If you have some sort of NFC reader at home, probably your phone, then you can do wild battles whenever you want and as much as you like. As long as you've got the space in the bracelet or in the app, you can use your 1 DIM card to spawn as many of that Digi-Egg as you like. There is much more to come, such as the online battles and plenty more DIM cards. Third-party mods are well on the way, and it's Digimon. Digimon are freaking cool. Let me just scooch over here. And for the cons, at the time of this video, it's only available in Japan, and the ways to order online are pretty limited and usually overpriced. The workout aspect of the bracelet is minuscule, barely 5 minutes a day. I don't know if they're going to update that later, but that's where it's at right now. The step counter is super sensitive and very easily cheated. You could just flail your arm or just shake the bracelet. It's not water resistant even in the slightest. Keep it very far away from water. It feels pretty bulky to wear. The band it comes with is only 16 centimeters long. The vital point sensor can be pretty inaccurate. Only the Pulsemon DIM card comes with the standard bracelet, so other Digimon are locked behind a paywall. DIM cards are locked to their bracelet and you can't share them. You need to get the app to get the full Vital Bracelet experience, which requires a phone with NFC. All of the wild battles are drawn from the evolution line of your current Digimon, and it can feel pretty repetitive. And it's a bit buggy. Like, I personally haven't experienced anything apart from the vital point sensor not sensing, but I've seen reports of faulty DIM cards just straight up not working immediately out of the box, and even Digimon disappearing from the app. It is still pretty early days for the Vital Bracelet. In summary, the Vital Bracelet could certainly be a lot better, but if you're a massive fan of V-Pets just like I am, I can highly recommend it. I reckon how the online battles get implemented is what's going to make or break the Vital Bracelet for a lot of people, so maybe wait for that before making your decision. I definitely want to stream some battles once that comes out, so if you don't want to miss out on that, follow me on twitch.tv/Pocari Surgery. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the Vital Bracelet? Like, is it what you thought it might be? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Let me know everything you think in the comments. But of course, thank you so much for watching this video. I super duper duper appreciate it. I hope you're doing well and staying safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
This month's anniversary shoutouts go to Scorch, Darkpaw, and Inner Design, who have both been here for 3 years. Thank you guys so much. Then for 2 years, we've got Twilight Skies, Seamus Holford, Wildflower, and Volt Ashcore. And for 1 year, we've got Eronium, Iron Havoc, Lemon Addy, Peter Tobias, and Taylor the Wolf. Thank you guys so much for so much support.